All right, let's talk about something we've all felt at some point. That feeling like you're just going through the motions. Well, today we're going to unpack a super powerful toolkit. It's all about helping you turn what feels like a random walk into a truly purposeful journey. So let's dive right in. I mean, this is really the core question, right? Are you on a journey or are you just adrift? It's so easy to feel like we're just being tossed around by the currents of life, constantly reacting instead of, acting. But what if you could actually grab the wheel? What if you had a map and a compass to help you steer your own ship? Well, that is exactly what we're putting together today. We're going to explore this simple toolkit made up of 7 core principles. Seriously, think of them as your own personal map and compass. They're designed to help you handle whatever life throws at you and, yeah, turn that random walk into a real, purposeful journey. Okay, let's get into it. Because here's the thing. Before you can even think about mastering the path ahead, you've got to master your own perspective first. So the first part of this toolkit is all about forging what we're calling your inner compass. It's made up of 3 fundamental mindsets that literally shape how you see the world before you even take a single step. So, what are they? Simple. First, this idea that pressure is actually a privilege. Second, that making mistakes doesn't mean you're a failure. And third, and this is a big one, not taking things personally. Let's break each of these down. All right, this first one, I know, it might sound a little bit backwards. I mean, most of us spend our entire lives trying to avoid pressure, right? But what if that's totally the wrong way to look at it? This principle asks us to do a complete 180 on how we think about pressure. Just look at the difference here. The way most people see it, pressure is just stress, plain and simple. It's this heavy weight you need to get away from. But the purposeful view, it completely flips that. It reframes pressure as an opportunity. And it makes sense, right? Think about it for a second. You only feel pressure when something important is on the line, when what you're doing actually matters. It's a sign that you're in the arena, you're in the game, not just sitting on the sidelines. Okay, moving on to our second mindset. And honestly, this one is a total game changer, especially if you've ever been afraid to try something new. The idea is so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Mistakes are not failure. This really shows the huge shift in thinking. The common view says a mistake is a dead end. It's proof that you're just not good enough. But on a purposeful journey, a mistake isn't a dead end. It's just data. It's valuable information that tells you, hey, this path doesn't work. Try another one. The inventor of Post-it notes was actually trying to make a super strong glue. His mistake ended up being the product. That's the power of seeing mistakes as data. And that brings us perfectly to the final piece of our inner compass. Because to really truly learn from those mistakes, you need to be emotionally resilient. And where does that come from? It comes from this principle right here. Don't take things personally. This is really the core difference between a reaction driven by ego and one that's all about growth. When you take things personally, every little piece of feedback, every setback, it feels like a personal attack on who you are. But when you manage to separate your self-worth from the outcome, that exact same feedback just becomes information. It's a perspective you can look at objectively, you can take what's useful, throw out the rest, and move on without it crushing your spirit. Okay, so we've built our inner compass. We've got our mindset right. Now it's time to actually start moving. So how do we, navigate the world out there? This next part is all about action. We're looking at 3 key principles for actively mastering the path you're on. And here they are, the tools for the path. Pay attention, be curious, and be nimble. Now, this isn't just some static checklist you tick off. No. Think of it more like a dynamic 3-part cycle for dealing with any situation you run into. It's what lets you learn and adapt in real time. Pay attention means you're really seeing what's in front of you. Be curious means you start asking why things are the way they are. And be nimble means you act on what you've just learned. See, it's a continuous loop. It's a cycle for growth. It all starts with observe. That's paying attention to what's actually happening, not what you think is happening. From there, you question. That's your curiosity kicking in, asking, why is it like this? And what if we did this instead? And finally, that curiosity is what lets you adapt, to be nimble and actually change your approach based on new information. Observe, question, adapt. That simple little cycle, that's the engine that keeps you learning, growing, and moving forward. So, let's recap. We've got our inner compass, and we've got our tools for the path. But what holds it all together? What's the glue? What gives the whole journey its meaning? Well, that brings us to our final and maybe most important principle. This is the big one. It's the one that acts as your North Star, guiding every single move you make. And it's so simple, yet so incredibly profound. Here it is. Don't lose sight of your dreams. That's it. This is the engine. It's what drives everything else we've talked about. Without this, the other 6 principles, they're just tactics without a strategy. This one principle is what gives them all their power. This is your why. It's the whole reason you're on this journey in the first place. It's why you'll be able to see pressure as a privilege, why you'll learn from your mistakes, why you'll adapt to challenges. Your dreams are the destination, or, at least the direction, that makes every single step, even the hard ones, totally meaningful. This is where your resilience comes from. It's the ultimate source of your motivation. And there you have it, a 7-part toolkit for a more purposeful journey. And remember, the goal here isn't to have some perfect, pre-drawn map of your entire life. That's impossible. It's about having a reliable inner compass, the right tools to handle the terrain, and a bright, clear North Star to guide you. So with all that in mind, the only real question left is, what's your next step?